Okay, I know I talked about Dream last week, but today I want to show you how beautiful it is in the eyebrows if you have warm hair color, in the crease. All 4 seasons can wear Dream. More importantly, I want to do a step-by-step makeup look today to really walk you through each step if you are brand new to Seint. I know it can be overwhelming, but you have to kind of relearn makeup. This is a different way of doing makeup, but look good close up. Yes, ma'am. And I'm glad you're here. Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Michelle Spieler. I'm a professional makeup artist and the creator of Mature Makeup Masterclass, a series of 23 videos on mature technique, all under 20 minutes. You can always go watch that intro video. It's only 1 minute and 45 seconds to decide if it's for you. And I priced it low so everyone can afford it. You can even break it up into payments. I mean, listen, you need it. You need to check it out at least, okay? So today I wanted to talk about the Seint shade of the month. I talked about it a little last week, but it was not available. So we are gonna wear Dream today. It's so pretty. Every season can wear this. If you're a summer or a winter, you can totally wear this in your crease, on your eyelid. Spring and summers, all the more so because it's neutral, maybe leaning a little warm. And it's warm in the brows, and I'm going to show you because you're not going to believe it. I wanted to skin prep real quick because one thing I'm really noticing, and tell me if you notice the same, I really notice this a lot. When I watch professional makeup artists, and let me fix my mirror a little, here we go, there we go. When I watch professional makeup artists that I don't watch other Seint artists, I watch professional makeup artists. So like Lisa Eldridge, Katie Jane Hughes, Charlotte Tilbury, right? And Charlotte Tilbury was really known for creating like a skincare primer hybrid. She massages it in, and while it's still gorgeous and moist on the face, she goes in with the makeup and massages the makeup in so it all kind of becomes one, right? And it doesn't really work that way at home, does it? Because we do our skincare and maybe we're getting ready for work and maybe we're getting dressed and maybe we're brushing our teeth and then, ooh, we don't want to forget the SPF. Got to wear the SPF. You better be wearing your SPF every day. And we'll put the SPF on. And then when we go to do our makeup, you know, maybe the SPF is still, you know, nice and hydrated, but unless you have like a Beauty of Joseon, which feels like skincare, or my very, very favorite Naked Sundays, which has a primer built into it, SPF 50. Unless you have something like that and you're going directly in with makeup, sometimes when you sit down to do makeup, your skin is maybe not quite skin prepped. Like you did all the steps, but it's not freshly skin prepped, right? And it's frustrating. And so then I was thinking, well, okay, you know, not everyone can, you know, afford this, although this is at Target now. You don't even have to buy it through me anymore. I'm so happy if you go buy it at Target. This is really nice. But then I just was on a Zoom with Charlotte Tilbury's team last week, and she has this SPF 50 with a primer. I'm like, oh my gosh, let's do that fresh right now. I've never used it. Never used it. I'm using it for the first time right now. And I just think it's so smart to have, you know, then you can, is this gonna come out? Oh, hold on, let me see. We might need to take, we need to take that little guy off. That's good, that keeps it nice. Ooh, it looks like it might have a little bit of a tint to it, like maybe a peachy tint. I love the snap top. I'm not trying to sell anyone on this. I don't even have the link for it. I just want to see how it looks. Putting it fresh on the face and then going in with our makeup. Oh my gosh. It's so silky and hydrated. It has an SPF 50, which is why I'm putting it all over my face. Normally you don't need primer all over your face. I'll tell you, just to keep it where the pores are. But since it has the SPF 50, we do want it all over our face. Okay. That feels really, really good. Okay, and now I can go right in with my makeup, and the makeup's gonna blend into this, and it's gonna just all be one beautiful layer. So I gotta get busy on that. Let me clip my hair back to get it out of the way. I know it drives some people nuts when I don't clip my hair back. People are so funny with hair. I did that whole video on TikTok, and I think I put it on Instagram and Facebook, but I did a whole video on how, you know, I have messy hair. It's my jam. It's very French to have that kind of messy, out of place, tousled look. And so many women were like, oh my gosh, I guess I'm French. I've been French my whole life. I love messy hair. I always have messy hair. Even when I brush it, my hair is messy. I never knew it was called French hair. And it was like, wow, it just opened my eyes to how nobody knew about French hair. Or I shouldn't say nobody, but a lot of women did not know that French hair is a thing. And it's very much a thing. It's very much about that kind of just lived in messy hair look. And it drives some women nuts that I have messy hair, but yeah, too bad. That's what we got here, and I love it. Okay, so I am going to go right into my skin with my highlight color. I'm going to go right in with it. And then we're going to do a little step-by-step, because I'm going to tell you something right now. I did a whole step-by-step video with Skin Obsessed Mary. She bought a palette from me 2 years ago and has never touched it. Reached out to me in the fall, said, can we do a video together where you show me step-by-step and you do it on your half of the screen and then I'll copy you on my half on the screen. It was like a Zoom. And we did it over a week ago. And like 2 Saturdays ago we did it. And she was supposed to publish it or post it on Friday. And she said, oh, Michelle, there was a glitch and the Riverside company she uses or app or software didn't record much of it. And we're going to have to reshoot the whole thing. So it's not going to be organic. Like, she's not going to be trying it on for the very first time and having that reaction like, oh my gosh, this is so pretty. It looks like skin. But I still think we can redo it because it is important to go step by step with Seint. And I will color match you and you'll buy all the things and then it comes and you get overwhelmed and you're like, I need a step by step, and I'll send you videos. I have YouTubes, but not everyone wants to scroll through 2 years of YouTubes looking for a step by step. And I understand that. I really do. So we are going to take, I'm using the pointy side. I'm going to take just a little bit of my Sandy and I'm going to go down the center of my face while I still have that nice fresh layer of the primer. And do you see how I'm just picking up, like I kind of just twirl it and twirl and drag at the same time? And I'm doing a really light layer because I feel like many women want it to look really like skin close up, and the lighter you put it on, the more it'll look like skin. But I've worn this heavy for special occasion too, and it's gorgeous. It just depends how you apply it, how much you want, where you're going, what the lighting's gonna look like, okay? So see how I have it through the center of my face and it's kind of evening me out. Now I'm not as even out here, so I'll take a little bit. I might do the tiniest bit of bronzer today, but I don't want everyone to feel like they have to wear bronzer. Not everyone has to wear bronzer. It's completely okay not to wear bronzer. Okay, do you see how I'm kind of just like, I almost kind of like slip it on, or I don't want to say drag it because there's a nice slip on my face, but do you see how I'm doing that? I'm kind of doing that motion. And then I'm going to go in with Candlelit. Candlelit really is one of my favorite colors for many, many Caucasian women on their jawline because it's not warm, it's not cool, it's kind of right neutral in the middle. It's light because a lot of us have light necks, but it's not so light that it's gonna show texture. So see how I'm doing that? I'm doing the same thing where I kind of twist and drag it down, twist and drag it down. And then I kind of am just going up to where my sandy or my main color was. Sandy was my main color, and this is kind of my lighter blending color, okay? And then I like a lighter color right at the temples. I did a whole Instagram reels on why if we go a little lighter at the temples, it makes us look more full and rounded. See how right here you can kind of see me dipping in a little bit, but here I'm light and I'm more rounded. Same light source. I have a ring light, I have 2 windows, and I'm equally in the middle. That's what that does when you go a little bit lighter on the temple. This is an old Hollywood trick that I've done for probably 2 decades, where you can create fullness in the face by using a lighter color in sunken in areas, okay? So I think that's good. Now what I can do is I could take this side of the brush and then just kind of like do really soft, real soft swooping motions. I'm not going heavy, so you're still gonna see probably a little bit of my freckles and a little bit of my sunspots, because this is just your everyday. Look at how pretty that is. Look at how pretty. Side note, I have to tell you something real quick. I went to an airbrush class yesterday. I was there from 10 to 5, and there was maybe 8 of us. I was the oldest one there. I was even older than the instructor. And I wore nothing on my face. I wore a little bit of Demi around my eyes, under my eyes, and around my nose. And then I had this on. Now I didn't wear makeup because I knew we were airbrushing, and I know we practice on each other, so why wear makeup? So I wore this, and I wore a little bit of Demi. Of course I had lashes, I had mascara, I had brows. I didn't have any eye makeup though. And the young girls, like an hour or 2 into class, the younger women in their 20s and 30s, like shouted down to me. I was at the other end of the table. Your skin is gorgeous. And I was like, thanks. I just did a great peel, and so I don't feel like I have to wear any foundation. And they were like, wow, like people thought I had foundation on. I was like, no, I have nothing. So the less you wear, like the more you work on the skin and the less foundation you wear, the more light bounce you have. What light bounce is it's that beautiful light bouncing off my face, okay? And you can still see, you can see here, I'm a little bit lighter, and look here, I have a little bit more pink, and down here, I'm a little bit lighter, and you can see a little bit of purple and pink splotchiness under the skin. That's what makes our skin look real. That's what makes it look like skin. I don't want a mask. I don't want one color all over my whole face. So I promise you, you can wear less makeup than you think. We have to get away from that whole 80s and 90s way of doing makeup, and we have to work on skincare. We have to work on sun damage. We have to wear SPF every day, and you can wear less makeup and then let Demi fix your flaws, right? So I'm gonna go in right now with Demi. Oh, let's do this trick. Okay. Now, just so you know, when they were complimenting my skin, you know, I was like, thank you so much. And then the skincare talk continued during the day. We, you know, we had an esthetician with us, and he's like, oh, I just did a peel too. And he told me all about his peel. Every time I look close up in the mirror, I reminded I forgot to shave. I've got to shave. Okay, so I'm looking at this close up. I don't want to see any lines. I don't want to see where anything starts and stops. I just want to see evened out skin. But look at that. Do you see that light bounce? That's not like fake glow. That's not like pearly illuminator. That is just the beauty of this makeup. And then it probably helps that I put it immediately over that Charlotte Tilbury product too, which helped it just become one with the skin. So later in the day, I did bring up that I had, you know, a lower facelift neck. Oh, I know, I was talking to this esthetician. He was young and gorgeous. I was talking to him about how he lost 30 pounds and he was doing some procedures to tighten his neck. And I said, oh, I lost 5 and my neck got loose. And I told them I had a lower face surgery. I'm always super open about that. I don't try to hide that fact. And he said, oh, I couldn't believe he said that. He said, have you ever tried laser genesis? And I'm like, as a matter of fact, I did a whole YouTube on it because it melted the fat in my face. And they gaslit me, and I did a whole YouTube on it. So if you have not seen my YouTube on my 1-year facelift, because maybe you're thinking, well, I'm never gonna get a facelift, or I don't have money for a facelift, I don't care about her facelift, but I go so deep into all the procedures that women are doing except for facelifts: Thermage, Morpheus 8, laser genesis, halo, BBL, IPL. I go into all the treatments and what it's doing to women's faces. And he said, oh my gosh, it ruined my face too. And he had photos. And I said, yeah, it completely melted all the fat in my lower face, and my lower face dropped. The educator who was teaching us goes, what are you guys talking about? And I'm like, oh, how lasers can melt the fat in your face. She's like, oh my gosh, I had Thermage and it melted my fat in my cheek pads, and now I have saggy cheeks. She was probably in her 40s. We were mind blown. And I told everyone, I'm like, this is my passion, to teach women to stay away from these procedures, save money for surgery, and stay away from all these procedures because it's ruining faces. This esthetician guy, he was like maybe 25. My educator, she was in her 40s. You know, I was early 50s at the time that it melted my fat. Then he brought up Morpheus 8. He's like, oh my gosh, we see so much damage from Morpheus 8. I'm like, exactly. So go watch that video if you haven't, because I hope it really opens your eyes and it can save you a lot of money. Okay, so I'm gonna take my O3, okay? And I'm going to just look right here in the mirror, and I'm just going where I have blue and purple. By the way, I'll tell you about airbrush later. I'm not going to talk about it right now, but I have some thoughts for you. Okay, look at that. Look at that. Do you see how here you can still see a little bit of blue and purple, and here it's gorgeous, it's gone. But look, when I do this, do you see my dents? Okay, so some of you will put on your Demi, you'll do a beautiful job, you'll send me a picture and you'll say, I'm still seeing darkness. And I'm like, that's funny, I don't see it. You look beautiful, you look creamy, you look hydrated, you look radiant. I don't see blue and purple. What they're talking about is, I still see my dents. I'm like, that's a 3-dimensional issue, okay? Makeup cannot fix that. However, I don't believe in putting filler under the eye, and that's a whole other discussion we had yesterday. His doctor that he works with, the esthetician, his doctor he works under, is like, no fillers under the eyes. No one is a candidate. It can blind you. It can cause lumpiness for life. I mean, there's big problems with fillers under the eyes, so I just want to warn you. But these dents, yeah, comes with aging. Now, my facelift helped a little bit. It did. My dents, you know, you've been with me for years. My dents used to be heavier than that. They used to be deeper and heavier, but I still have them because you know why? Our eyeballs are sinking into our head. You can have all the money in the world. Dolly Parton, Jane Fonda, Cher, Madonna, they have all the money in the world. Guess what they can't do? Pop their eyeballs out. All of our eyeballs are sinking into our head. Even with the best surgery on earth, even with all the money on earth, we still have our eyeballs sinking in to our head, okay? Nothing we can do about that. Okay, so look at that. Radiant, beautiful. Do I have dents? Yes. Just hold your head up high. Follow the light. Be in good lighting at all times, okay? I'm gonna cut it here because it's getting almost to 20 minutes. It's easier for me to edit and upload. I'll be right back. Okay, now we're gonna go in with my NR-1. I call this the magic color, NR-1. Do you see how I'm kind of rolling the fluffy end of the bright brush? I used O3 with the bright brush. I used the fluffy end for NR-1. And now I go everywhere else. I kind of go where I wasn't with the O3, and I blend everything out. Now, people ask me, why do you call this the magic color? Because it somehow lightens the dark area, but deepens the light area around the dark area. So it's like, I call it the balancing Demi. I don't understand quite how it works. That's why I call it the magic Demi, but it works. And when you send me photos and you're like, holy moly, that really is a magic color. I'm like, I know. It's crazy. And I only discovered it in what, August? I've been with Seint a year and a half and I didn't know about NR-1. Okay. So I have that all under the eyes and it just kind of smooths everything out. Now notice I did not take it up to my lower eyelid. I like my lower eyelid to have a little bit of natural shading on it because it looks more natural. And that's just how we look in real life. We have a lower eyelid. Most of us do. Not everyone has a lower eyelid. Okay, and then I'm going to take the tiniest bit of Y01 or GY1. I love GY1 just as much. And I'll go right where all of my broken capillaries are. Now remember, yellow, orange 1 is a yellowy peach. So we're canceling the blue red, which is very pinky blue, purpley red. It's more of a purpley pink, so that one cancels it perfectly. If you are more fair, I might put you in GY1 instead of Y01. Y01 could maybe go too peachy on you, but on me, got rid of all that. But you might be GY1. You won't know till you get a color match, free color match, okay? So there we go. There we go. I love it. I'm not gonna do sunspots today because I don't cover my sunspots on the daily. I'll tell you what I am gonna do though. We are gonna powder. Do I have my Seint powder? I do, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna take my Seint powder and I'm gonna go into my eyebrows because oftentimes I preach, do eyebrows first. It's easier to do eyebrows first because if it's on bare skin, it tends to grip on the skin and the hair better. But you know what? It's okay. We're also gonna do a little bit of powder on the eyelids because I'm gonna put that beautiful dream on my eyelids and I want you to see how pretty it is and I can tell you what colors look great with it. Now, I like this light bounce and this glow. You might not. You could always go in wherever you have a little bit of pores and the powder will blur that. But I'm leaving that beautiful light bounce everywhere else. And I'll do blush in a minute as well. So I'm going to take, we have an angled brush, don't we? I don't know, this is the Sephora one and it's firm without being too stiff, whereas the Seint one is just really stiff to me. I think it's probably better for creams. I don't know that I love it, but I love the spoolie. So I'm gonna take Dream with this little brush number 22 by Sephora. And watch this. Here's how I like to do brows. I go on the bottom of my brow first, and I go to that arch, under the arch, okay? And then I go down the tail. Now, I learned this in the 90s, early 90s when I worked for MAC Cosmetics. I don't know why this is. I can't explain it, but anything you put in the brows goes warm. So if you are a true brunette, it also goes darker and warm. So if you're a true brunette, you wouldn't go in with a dark brown. It will give you a black brow. You're gonna go in with something more like that, like a taupey, cool brown. And it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous in the eyebrows. So when we first got Dream, I can't remember why I thought to put it in my brows, but I thought, This is so pretty. I wonder if it would work in my brows. Now at the time, when Dream came out in December, remember my hair, that's back when I was still gray blending. I was an ashier blonde. Now I'm a warmer blonde. See all that gold and red in my hair? So now the warm brow matches, and people have taken notice on TikTok on the days where I have a warmer brow. People are like, what are you doing with your eyebrows? What's in your eyebrow? Because they notice, because now it all matches. It's all harmonious. It's so pretty. I love this Dream. But look at the difference in my eyebrows. My natural brow is dark, but not super dark, but dark. It's ashy. And now look at this one. Look how it looks with my hair. Who would have thought, right? So we're going to start here and we're going to go under. And then we're going to go down the tail. Now remember, our brows are cousins. They're not twins. You could say sisters, not twins, or you could say cousins, not twins. But our brows, don't make yourself nuts trying to get them 100% symmetrical. Because most of us, some of you have symmetrical brows and you're so fortunate, but most of us don't. For me, this brow is shorter and lower. So what they do is they put a little Botox up here and it kind of lifts this side a little bit more. Otherwise this side goes, and it's shorter. This side, look at that, it's longer and higher. So that's my good eyebrow. You'll see me use this side of my face more based on that eyebrow, okay? But you know, again, we can't get too matchy-matchy. And then I always look in the mirror to make sure they're pretty symmetrical for the most part. Like they're not completely unmatched. I'm not going for Picasso cubism here. Okay, then I'll take my beautiful Saint spoolie. By the way, I just ordered, we have a spoolie with just a spoolie and there's nothing on the other end, and I just ordered it and I'm excited because I'm always forever grabbing this one just for the spoolie. So I'd love a brush that's just the spoolie. Okay, look at that. See how that's softer now? Look at the difference. That's why it's important to brush your brows. Look how soft that went. So you always brush, 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 brush. I just kind of brush up, okay? And if you brush it onto the skin around, just kind of take your finger and, okay. Gosh, you didn't think you were gonna get a brow lesson today, did you? Okay, now we're gonna do Dream on the eyes. It's so pretty. I'm so excited to show you. Let's see. I feel like I'm just gonna do the eyeshadow brush. Good old, there's a hair in it. Good old eyeshadow brush. It's nice because it has this cute little round bullet on one side and it's got the fluffier on the other. Okay, so again, I always love to roll my brushes. I kind of like roll it just so it's, look at that, it's evenly saturated, and then, ooh, did you see some come off? That's okay, that's what you want. So I start on the outside of the eye and I just go back and forth. And do you see how I'm holding it kind of perpendicular to the eye? Kind of a little bit more perpendicular. See how pretty and neutral that is? So it's less warm than Bubba. It's lighter and less warm than Bubba. It's a little bit warmer. It's warmer than Pup. I love Pup, but Pup is very cool. Can go very cool on some women. So that's why this Dream, in my opinion, is like the perfect neutral for all 4 seasons. Like this, maybe I'll do it today to show you, but this color with like a dark brown, smudged out here. Who couldn't wear that? Everyone can. Everyone can wear that look. And then you could just do a different eyeshadow color depending on what your season is. So springs and autumns would wear like a lighter, brighter color, or an autumn could wear like a lighter, earthy, warm color. And then a summer could wear a really pretty soft pastel or soft muted, neutral. And a winter could wear like a beautiful like silver shimmer. I mean, you could wear a lot of things as a winter, but look how pretty that is. And then you could just take your fingers and just kind of tap, tap, tap to make sure we don't see where it starts and stops. But look at that. That is so pretty. Okay, and then I think what we'll do is, you know what? I want a little under my eye too. Let's do a little bit under the eye. I'm gonna take now the other side of the brush, and I'm just gonna kind of roll, 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 tap, 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 and just kind of makes the eyes look a little bit rounder without looking like heavy makeup because it's so soft. Okay? Yeah, I like that. A little smoky, but on the soft side smoky. And then let's think of a fun shadow. So if you were summer or winter, you could do glass slippers, you could do unicorn, you could do Aries. Aries is one of my favorite. I wore Aries a lot when I had more ashy blonde hair. You could do Sabrina, you could do Cupcake if you want to keep it matte. Yeah, so you could do Mama with it. If you know, Mama is more of like a pink, mauve pink, dusty pink, I would say. Glass slippers would be very pretty with it, you know, just kind of a light silver shimmer. Like, you really, look at that. Can you imagine that with that? I'm not going to wear it because silver is no longer in my, well, it never was. I was never a big silver person, but I love it on other people. I want to do something really neutral though. Just, let's see. Gosh, I have so many colors. Maybe Sis. Sis might be good. Let me see if I can pop it out. Let's see, where are we? 13 minutes, we're okay. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna do Sis because Sis is like super neutral in the middle. A summer could wear that, a spring. It's just, see that? I don't even know what color you would call that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we're gonna do, look at that. Now that would really work for a summer, winter. You know, for spring, you could do Crush, which is a little more peachy. You could do Peppa. Autumn would be gorgeous with, is it Amber Lights? I think Amber Lights. Or is that an old MAC color? Angel's Landing, sorry. Amber Lights was an old MAC color. Angel's Landing is one of my favorite colors, and you could definitely do that for autumn. It's like a beautiful bronzy gold, but real soft. Okay, look at that. Oh, look at that. That's so pretty. That is so pretty. Good old Sis. That's it. That's all we're doing on eyes. We're gonna make this real easy. Okay, so I had Tropicana picked out for my blush, but I'm not sure. I'm feeling Tropicana now that I have Sis on, but that's Tropicana, and I'm not sure, that's not feeling right to me. So let's see what this one is. Melody, we don't make that one. I wish we did. What's this? Is this Boardwalk? I just wore Boardwalk. I want to do something fun and different. Oh, should we do Demi? Should we do a Demi on the cheeks? A lot of you had asked me about O5. I'm sorry. Yeah, O5. Oh, I do like Hollywood too. Let's try O5. I feel like I've had a lot of you asking me that lately. So Demi makes a beautiful blush, like beautiful. Okay, and this is R5, my very favorite blush in the world. This is OR5, but that was rough. That was hard. That didn't show. I mean, I had to work at OR5, and it was pretty. Don't get me wrong, it was pretty, but I had to really work at it. So we're gonna do O5. That's our O5. This is O5. We'll see. I don't know. Let's see. Oh yeah, that's working. That is working. By the way, some of you need O7. I know it's scary. Look at bright orange. I get it. It looks scary, but you know what? Some of you need it for age spots or sunspots that are too dark. O3 doesn't cover. You need O7. You have under eye darkness and O3 is not quite covering. You need O7. It's scary looking. I get it. But you know what? I'm not gonna leave you high and dry. I created that brand new Demi video, so you know exactly what to do. I like a little on my nose. I know not everyone does. Oh, that's really cute. That's the O. That's the O5. So that's O5, and that's O7. Okay, I like this. Okay, what do we think? Now, if we want, we could take the tiniest bit of bronzer or highlighter. I'm sorry, bronzer or contour. I'm just gonna take the tiniest bit of Bella. And just because I have such a long forehead, we call my forehead a 5 head. You don't have to do this. Even if you have a long forehead, you do not have to contour. I just like to show options. And if someone is a little bit more self-conscious of their forehead, or someone like me that just wants a little more depth up there, you could do a little bit of Bella, which is, I call it Brontour. It's a contour and bronzer in one. So meaning it's giving me some depth the way contour would, but it's a prettier color than contour. Contour can sometimes be very cool or ashy or shadowy, and that's not pretty on every skin tone. Okay, and do you see how I just did a little bit? Not much, just a little bit. I'm not going for a chiseled look, but I do want to give some women the option, because some women do want bronzer and contour and some of you don't. So, you know, you see my face both ways. I like to do, my bottom of my chin is also very long. I have a long pointy chin. Less so now that I've gained weight as I got older. When I was young, you could really see I would smile and my chin would be like, boop, just real pointy. Okay, and then what we can do is go back in with that blush Demi brush. By the way, you need the shape brush for Demi because it's real floppy and loose. You need that for Demi. Demi's very concentrated. You don't want to use a regular brush for Demi as blush. You want the shape brush, okay? And then you can go in, blend out any edges. Okay. Ouch. Oh, I'll be back. All right, I am gonna go in with a little Tropicana. Our blushes just go on so much lighter than they look. I really wish they'd let me help them with blush. feel like there's so many blushes we're missing out on. Like we really are lacking some colors. Okay. Do you see how subtle that blush is? That Demi? I might need a pinch more. What do you think? I feel like I need, remember, when you're pouncing on your skin, you're bringing a lot of blood to the surface, right? So you need to give it a few minutes to decide if you've put on enough or not. And if you put on too much, you can always go back in with your foundation brush and blend over it. And if you haven't put quite enough color, that will be the time you're gonna pick up a little bit more. Cute. So summery, isn't it? Here on a rainy March day, I'm looking forward to summer. Cute. There we go. And Demi has a beautiful, beautiful sheen to it, and it lasts a little bit longer than our lip and cheek does. Okay, what do we think? Love it. You can lock it in with some setting spray. I'm going to use Cali Ray just because it's what I always use, but my friend Melanie Mills gave me a new setting spray. She's a Emmy Award-winning makeup artist who lives in Nashville. You might know her from all of her work on the first 10 seasons of Dancing with the Stars. She was the makeup department head, and she gave me her setting spray yesterday because I took the airbrush class at her makeup store in Nashville. And I'm real excited to try her setting spray and bring it to you because it's a fine, fine mist. It doesn't feel wet when it goes on, and it really locks in the makeup because it had to. She did Dancing with the Stars, and I love Melanie. She's so cool. Okay, so what do we think? Do you feel like you could do this? Does that feel easy enough? We did step by step. Do you love Dream? Oh my gosh. Dream is so pretty. Now I'm looking right here in the mirror, and that sis is a little bit more like, I would say, like a pink champagne. Real champagne, but with a hint of like pink. So I feel like it still looks really nice on me, but I really think it'd look great if you were a summer, a winter. Not sure about it. I think autumn needs a little bit warmer. But again, Angel's Landing is one of my favorite. You could do Rome. You could do Goldie. There's some really cute ones you could do. Or you could just do Cupcake. Just like a really beautiful creamy matte, warm creamy matte. All right, hope that was fun today. I really wanted to show you how Dream is warm in the brow, but neutral on the eye. Kind of a warm neutral, but very pretty for anyone. And it's gonna be one of those colors that I think it's gonna become everybody's staple. I think we're gonna see mostly Dream. I think when you see other Saint artists, you're gonna see a lot of Dream. I think I predict it's gonna be our #1 selling eyeshadow from here on out because it's so soft and so versatile. And look at how good it looks in brows if you have warm hair. So I wanted to show you that, but also do a step-by-step because it's been a while since I've done a step-by-step, and I know it can get overwhelming, but you have to remember this, okay? Repeat after me. I can do hard things. Makeup's not hard. Makeup just requires practice. And I will say that Saint, remember, I talk about this a lot. I'm almost 30 years pro. I had to kind of relearn makeup, but that was exciting to me. You know, I've done every makeup on the planet, every makeup in Sephora, every makeup in Ulta, every makeup pretty much in the drugstore. I've done it all. I've used it all. This was challenging because I was like, ooh, these are creams, and ooh, you put them on like in one layer instead of 2 layers, and ooh, you know, I had to relearn makeup. Thankfully, you know, within about a half a dozen attempts, I nailed it and loved it. I don't even know why I stuck with it. Normally I'm so impatient and I just would return everything. But I'm like, I really believe this is going to be beautiful. I think I'm just not doing it right. And so it takes practice. Just like this whole airbrush I got into. It's going to take practice. Now I've airbrushed on and off since the 90s. And I love it for special effects and I love it for tattoo cover. But I've never really loved airbrush for beauty because you don't get this beautiful, look at this sheen. You don't get that with airbrush. What you get is you get like a more velvety finish, which is pretty, but it almost like covers the skin, and then you paint back in this glow. But why paint back in the glow when you can just do makeup enhancing your natural skin glow, right? So for me, the airbrush is really going to take a lot of practice. I'm going to practice on Rob. I'm going to practice on Gracie. I'm going to practice on models. I'm really going to have to practice it because I don't know that I love it, but people in Nashville require it. They always say, do you airbrush? Do you airbrush? Do you airbrush? And I love to do male grooming, and I'd love to do more male grooming jobs here. And they all want airbrush. So you got to do what they want. But I know that cream makeup is so much prettier. But how do you convince people who are set in their ways that airbrush is best? I will say this for airbrush. When I tell you you can sleep in it and wake up the next morning and it's beautiful, I'm not kidding. I did that one time when my mom was in the hospital. I would take the weekend shifts so my dad could go home and sleep and get a break. And I airbrushed my face on like a Friday afternoon, and then I drove. And then, you know, I didn't really sleep in bed when I was with my mom. I was more on like a little pull-out couch, so I never really got a good night's sleep. But I did keep it on all night, and I did it on purpose, because what do I always say? Clean your face every night, no matter what, non-negotiable. But that night I wanted to see, and I wore it all the next day. All the next day. Like I didn't take it off until Saturday night. So I probably wore it over 24 hours, and it was beautiful. And every time I looked in the mirror, I was like, oh, I look like I'm ready for red carpet, you know? And was it pretty in person? Yeah, I think it kind of was, but I was just so impressed with how long wearing it was. And that's why I'm getting more into it. But will it ever replace this beautiful? No, this is look good makeup, look good close-up makeup. This is who we are here, right? Okay. Thank you for being here. I love you so much. God loves you so much. Some of you don't get to hear that. Some of you don't get to hear I love you. Some of you don't get physical touch every day, and I wish I could reach out and give you the biggest, tightest hug, but you'll just have to take a virtual hug. But I want you to hear every time you come to my channel how much I love you, how much God loves you. I mean, I cry when I think about this audience. I do. I don't cry over TikTok. I don't cry over Instagram. I don't cry over Facebook. But this community here is just so special to me. Like, you have a special place in my heart. Do you know we're at 95.5 thousand subscribers here at Mature Makeup Masterclass? That's thrilling. That's thrilling. I'm so excited to hit that benchmark of 100,000. They're going to send me a plaque. That's important to me because I've worked harder on YouTube than anywhere else. And this is my tightest community. This is where I really know a lot of you, and you know me. And this is where you really get to hear more about my life than anywhere else on social media. So I love you so much. Thank you so much for being here. I hope this was helpful today, and I will see you Saturday for drugstore makeup. Bye for now.